All right, here we are. I'd like you to meet Jonathan. You probably already know me since this is my channel. I'm Jay. And Jonathan, what was your last name?
Jonathan Gutierrez.
Gutierrez, all right. I met Jonathan at the Fred Hutch Cancer Therapy Center in Seattle. He was sitting across the chair from me on an adjacent chair across a little space in a hassock, and over a period of days I got to interested, just curious. I could see he had radiation burn going on in his throat, and so it made me wonder if it was in fact some of the same kind of a thing that I had going on. And I don't remember who engaged first, but we started a conversation, and one thing led to another. Found out we live in the same town in Mount Vernon. We drive. We were going the same days, same time of the day.
Okay.
We have the same doctors, and nearly the identical cancer. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as we go on.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up and doing this.
Yeah.
This is a first for either. We're strangers, really, and other than what we went through down there, so it might be a little uncomfortable at times because of that void of really knowing each other. But the goal here is to just bring together our common experience, so that people that are going through these things will have an idea before, during, after, what to experience. And
when I first noticed it was in late 2024, around December timeframe. I had gone to Mexico because my daughter, she chose to do her wedding there. I'm of Colombian descent. I was born in Colombia.
Okay,
my wife
I was
is
curious
Mexican.
about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I spent part of my childhood in Colombia, in South America.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then my wife, she's Mexican, and she also spent a part of her childhood in Mexico. And then, so that's why my daughter decided to do, wedding with her, because we have family over there, and it's, for economic reasons, it makes more sense to have.
I'm just curious, how old were you when you left Colombia?
I was 9.
9, okay.
And then I went to Costa Rica.
Oh man, I wanted to go there. Yeah.
It's really nice. It's a really good experience. And then I came here to the U.S. at 12 years old.
Okay.
So I've been here since '94.
All right.
Yeah, and I've loved it ever since. This is an awesome place to be. Lots of opportunities,
Yeah.
Obviously, nothing is given to anyone, so you have to fight for everything you got. But once you make it, it's just I can't think of anywhere else to be, right? So back to I got sick when we were there. Virus, whatever, what was in the air. My son got it too. I have a 13-year-old son. He's very active. So he got it pretty bad. He got sick. We actually had to take him to the doctor to give him some injections. Little did I know that over there, the injection is actually more, it works faster than what they would have given him here, because they would have given him here probably the same thing, but oral instead of an injection.
Right.
So, just different ways of doing it. Anyway, so I figured, I got a little lump here. It must be, I'm fighting something, and, it's the body's running through it. I kind of forgot about it. So then, this was like around December time from 2024.
2024, December, you felt a lump.
Yep.
Thought it was a nothing.
Regular swollen lymph node, just capturing whatever was there, and then eventually it was going to run its course, right?
Yep.
Dissolve, the body would do.
But you felt that was the beginning,
Yeah.
okay.
And it was tiny. Never throughout the entire time up until now has it ever been painful.
Right.
I should have known that.
Yeah, they're pretty good about that.
That was a telltale sign, right? So the body's really good at shielding you from what's really going on. I learned that the body does its best to try to carry you through life and shielding you from something that's bad. That's how I interpret it, because...
And cancer does its best to hide.
Exactly.
It seems, yeah.
Yeah, and then the body does its best to contain it and keep it there as long as it can, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of forgot about it, and then we went to the doctor, and the doctor said, okay, just monitor it. It should go away in a couple of months. If it doesn't, come back, and then we'll start doing some more tests.
So that's interesting. So he didn't prescribe an antibiotic or nothing?
Nothing. He just figured it was just, it was maybe a tougher bacteria or virus that I was fighting, and, well, again, I forgot about it again. So this was summer 2025.
Okay.
Like around October-ish, I think. My wife says, hey, that thing hasn't gone away yet, right? I was like, oh no, I kind of forgot about it. But by this time, it's a little lump. And you could, if you look at me closely, you could see that this side of my neck was a little bit bigger than this side.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it was starting to affect how I sleep, because just the general size of the mass.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, finally, let's schedule it. Let's see what's going on. It wasn't until here at Skagit Regional Clinics in Skagit County, Mount Vernon, for those who are, everywhere else in the world, in Washington State. We got together, we did the test and all that stuff. And I also concurrently was doing it with the VA, since I have VA benefits.
Right.
So both tests independently were also starting to agree with the same thing. Hey, there's something, you need to look at it more. So we started doing a CT scan, we started doing the one with the, I forget what it's called, the one where they inject you with fluid so it lights up everywhere.
PET scan.
Thank you.
PET scan, yeah.
Yeah. And that's when they said, you need to go. You need to go start looking at oncology team, because this is serious. So that's when we got the...
So they're not looking at the tonsil at this point. They just look just because of the light bulb on
Yeah.
the PET scan.
Yeah. So then, to be 100% sure, they wanted to do physical specimen. So went to Skagit Regional Clinics again. They put me on the side, and we're gonna take 4 samples from the back here of my neck.
Right.
Little did I know it was gonna be such a hard experience. The cocoon that had formed was very tough, and it took not 1, not 2, but 3 doctors to fully get in there and be able to extract it.
Wow.
So it was a very, very painful experience.
And that's just a biopsy itself?
Yeah.
Wow.
4 of them, because
they took a biopsy of all 4?
Yeah,
Okay.
because the test revealed that there's 4 of them that
Right.
we needed to look at. They were very tough. Like I remember they literally had to dig hard, pushing against my neck. I have all the anesthesia and everything, but they still had to force
So
it. So
you were engaged. You were aware.
Oh yeah, I was awake.
Okay. It's kind of like that laughing gas kind of thing that.
No, they just did a injection.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so
You were
they
really
just numbed this area. That's it.
You were really along for the ride.
Oh yeah. It was fun, to say the least.
Oh.
And by fun I mean I don't wish that experience on
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah. Well, I didn't get that sample.
Yeah. So anyway, after that, then they said, okay, it is confirmed. You have cancer. And then...
Now, did you get that by an email, or did you get that come into the office, or how did that happen?
Sure. Since nowadays we have, at least here for us, we have what's called MyChart. It's an app that is connected with the hospital. And you get the results before the doctors even have a chance to talk with you.
Oh.
Yeah, because they publish the results right away, and then they proceed to schedule the follow-up, right, for the doctor.
Right.
So, of course, we see the results, and we run it through AI. In this case, it was Gemini.
Right.
And we asked Gemini, hey, Gemini, what does this mean? And Gemini, being polite and everything, said, you basically have cancer. Of course, I'm skipping a whole bunch of, but they basically say, hey, this is very serious. You have cancer. Start looking at options for treatment. So I had 2 options. Go with the VA or go with the Skagit Regional Clinics. But then my wife and daughter said, no, you will go to Fred Hutch.
So why did they say that? Why do they think that they knew about it and they knew it was better?
Yeah. So my wife, her mother, years ago, she passed away from pancreatic cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So the family has always been quasi-aware of cancer. Not that we've had cancer in our immediate family, but they've always been aware because of life experiences, right?
Yeah.
So they just they had always known that Fred Hutch is, since it's an arm of the University of Washington, and University of Washington is one of the top institutions in the world, they said, let's go there. because if you're gonna go through this journey, we have no at that time we had no idea what it's gonna entail, what kind of treatment, how long, like nothing.
Yeah, right.
Just
Sure.
completely in the void, right?
Yeah.
So that's when we said, okay, let's see if we can do a schedule an appointment with Fred Hutch. Also, concurrently, our doctor at Skagit, he himself, it's funny how life just happens, right? You and I, we have almost nearly the identical cancer.
Right.
My doctor, when he himself was going through medical school, like 18 or 20 years ago, had the exact same cancer too.
Was that Harris? No, it was not Harris.
Tahir.
Was it?
Dr. Tahir.
Okay.
Yeah. Really, really, really sharp mind.
Right.
I really like him. He's awesome.
So he also recommended Fred Hutch to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
He flat out said, we'll just skip everything, just go straight there. So he made the referral, so that made it even stronger.
Oh, yeah.
So we made the case because we had the backing of him.
Right.
Because he himself went through cancer, and he himself knew about Fred Hutch way back when, because when he was in Chicago, Chicago had strong communications with Fred Hutch.
Right.
And this was pre-proton, so he had a much rougher journey than we both did. And the VA was like, well, you can also go to the Seattle VA, and we have everything that you need. But I prefer to go with Fred Hutch because they're the top of the top, in my opinion.
Right.
So they took us in, we did the initial referral, all that stuff. Incredible facility. The thing that impressed me the most is they have a multidisciplinary approach to it. Not only, and you know this, not only are you seeing...
Yeah, well, no, they don't know this, so that's good.
Yeah, not only are you seeing an oncologist, but you're also seeing a specialist, within the oncology field, you're seeing a specialist in chemotherapy, you're seeing a specialist in radiation therapy, you're seeing a nutritionist, you're seeing a speech therapist, and there is one more that I'm missing. It'll come later.
Yeah.
I remember that there were about 5 different specialists that we saw. Where else do you get that type of... And on top of that, because they know that people come from all corners of the United States, Canada, and possibly the world, every time you have an appointment with them, they make it in such a way that as much as possible on the same day, you see all of them, so that way you don't lose your trip.
Yeah. And they do the blood work right on the facility.
Oh, yeah.
The results come back instantly.
Oh, yeah.
None of this mail it away, they'll talk to you in 3 days.
Boom, right there. Right there, yeah. So my journey was, they gave me a couple of options. Obviously, they also did their own test to confirm. So not only did I have the test of the VA, the test of the Skagit Regional Clinics, they wanted to do their own test for their own confirmation as well. So it was 3 times.
They didn't dig back in again, did they?
No.
Okay.
No, they just did more MRI and all the other different tests. But yeah, they did not need to do any more samples because it's right there, right?
Right.
Yeah. So after that, they gave me 2 options. One of them was, well, no matter which way you slice it, you're gonna get radiation, right? But option A was, we're gonna operate. We could open up the neck,
Right.
remove the 4 lymph nodes that are infected, wait until you heal, and get radiation afterward. That was option 1. Option 2 was no operation. You concurrently get chemo and radiation. With radiation, they're specifically talking about proton radiation. This is where Jay and I met. The difference between regular radiation and proton is that proton is a more guided type of radiation. So the theory behind that is that it creates less stress for the body, because no matter what, radiation is just a poison for the body, right?
Yeah.
But where proton shines very much is for children, for example, who are still in their early ages and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Brain, neck, cancer, all that stuff. So
my understanding, it controls you can control the blast radius.
Exactly.
So when it's going in, where traditional radiation, you're going all the way through. Period. There's no way to stop it.
Exactly.
With proton, they can control much more carefully what it's hitting.
Yeah, and the way that Dr. Riviere explained it to me, this is the proton specialist. He said the way that he's able to calibrate the machine is once you fire off the proton radiation, like you said, the radiation can go as deep as you want it to, but he made it so that depending on where exactly they want to attack the cancer, he makes it where he sends the beam, and then right at the spot where the cancer is, it flashes right there and it stops right there. It doesn't go any deeper.
Right.
That's how he described it to me. So basically, he's able to dial it in.
Right.
So after the final test, they decided that my 4 capsules of the lymph nodes, there were signs that the cancer could potentially have already spread beyond the cocoon of the lymph nodes. And that was the cutoff right there. They were like, if that's the case, you probably don't want to operate, because even if we remove everything, at the cellular level, microscopic, we might miss a cell here or there that's cancerous, and then you did nothing because it ends up spreading all over again.
Yeah.
So that's when they said we would recommend that you just do the chemo and radiation.
Yeah.
And for me, that became a 33 radiation appointments, which translated roughly about 6.5 weeks.
That's the same number I've been given. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Or will be given.
Okay. Concurrent with chemotherapy. Right. Chemotherapy originally was going to be 1 dosage of cisplatin, which is the agent that actually does that goes through your body and does the heavy lifting, right? Once every 3 weeks. The dosage is pretty high, I think. I didn't do a lot of research on it, but from my understanding is that when they give you 180 milliliters of cisplatin, it's going to do some heavy damage to the body. So that's why they do it once every 3 weeks.
Right.
Originally, they were going to do 3 doses. I ended up only having to do 2.
Right.
And the reason why is because Dr. Joseph, which is the chemo specialist.
Yeah, we have the same oncologist, same radiation doctor, everything. Yeah.
After the first and second dosages, he saw how I reacted, my symptoms, and he sat down with me and we spoke about weighing the risks of the potential permanent effects. One of the permanent effects that I received, or that I have now for the rest of my life, is my hearing is impaired. Yeah. So cisplatin, for those of you who don't know, it's always a poison in the body, but one of the things that is very common is it burns the hair cells in your ears. So what ends up happening is if you get enough cisplatin, eventually you'll lose hearing permanently. In my case, I lost hearing of higher pitch sounds, and I have permanent, I think you say tinnitus, right? Is the ringing in the ears?
Yeah.
That's permanent for me now. And the third thing is, for me, everything is muffled. Pretend I have like big earmuffs.
Right.
You know how everything feels like, oh, this is feeling muffled?
Yeah.
That's me for permanent.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? And also Dr. Joseph said, hey, go get a hearing test so we know what your baseline is.
At this point?
Yeah. He said try to get it as soon as possible because he wanted to know, for my baseline, how bad can it get?
Yeah.
And it got pretty bad. And
So you did get that hearing test?
Oh yeah, but that's how I know that I have. So right now my left ear is worse than my right ear. But in the greater scope of things, I'm still somewhat okay. I can hear fine. It's just that when I'm in crowded places, I have a really hard time differentiating if you're speaking with me directly versus the rest of the background noise. For me, it's all the same, so I really have to focus. Yeah. But at this point, hearing aids are not necessary unless I feel like it. But I'm sure over, as the years go by, when I'm probably 50s, 60s, maybe I may have to.
Well, nowadays with the Bluetooth and the phones, the hearing aid could be a good thing. I got people I know that say they'd rather have them than not have them. I had somebody the other day I ran into with that.
Yeah. And so let's see. Let's continue with this journey. weeks 1 through 3 or 4, cisplatin, which is the chemo with the proton, they said, again, everybody's different, right? They said, but roughly for about the first 3 or 4 weeks, you're not going to feel that much of a difference, maybe a little tiredness. It's just going to be at the tail end where it just compounds, right?
Yeah.
And I'll get into it in a second.
Yeah.
My first experience with cisplatin was very rough. I had a very adverse reaction. Just to give general knowledge for everybody, if you're getting cisplatin very often, they do what's called a port, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have to get that.
You did not?
No.
Okay.
Because it was so infrequent, right?
Oh, yeah.
So the way they did it for me is they said, hey, let me see your veins, and there you go. And then you gotta sit down for 5 hours and wait for the whole procedure, right?
Right.
So the way that it goes is you go into the facility. Obviously, they do run blood tests to see where you are, baseline and all that stuff, right?
Right.
The day off, the way it works is this is a 5-hour ordeal. The first hour when you sit down in the medical center, it's all through an IV, right? So the first one is hydration. They call it hydration. So they basically give you electrolytes. It's magnesium, and I forget the other chemical, or sorry, not chemical.
Sodium.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, they basically just want to hydrate the body.
Right.
Specifically because this is really rough on the kidneys. So they want to make sure that your kidneys stay as functional and as healthy as they can be, right? So that's the first round.
Right.
Then the second round is the medication before the cisplatin. In my case, it was anti-nausea, and I forget the other thing. It was 2 of them in one.
Steroid, Dexa something around.
Something I can't remember, yeah. Because cisplatin has a half-life effect. So basically you get it now, but you're going to have it for a while, and it slowly dissipates, right? Especially the dosage that I was getting. They figured you're going to feel it. So we're going to pre-dose you with meds, so by the time you get the cisplatin, it'll hold you for the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's fair game, and then they give you more prescription, and then it's up to you, how you want to take them, right?
Right.
So after that second hour, then the cisplatin comes. Right. Just a little bag, like this, along with the regular IV. Here's the cisplatin,
right.
And then you start feeling it, right? And then once the cisplatin is done for about an hour, then the last hour is more hydration. Again, it's because it's really rough on the kidneys. I mean, not to mention the rest of it.
So the last hour. So you say an hour before cisplatin, an hour after, or 2 hours?
No.
Before?
So here's the order. Hour 1, just regular hydration. Hour 2, while they're still giving you hydration, it's all in the same IV, right? The meds. Hour 3, cisplatin, and then hour 4 and 5 is more hydration.
Okay, that sounds similar to mine.
In that order.
Yeah.
The point is, it's always hydration before and after, and then whatever else is in between plus the cisplatin.
Yeah.
Day 1, after that, I was tired. I was able to drive home that day. My wife was with me the whole time. On the heavy days, my wife comes with me. On the
Shut that off. Sure. Sorry about that.
No worries. On the simple days, when it's just the in and out for the radiation, I could drive myself. Yeah. At one point, I had to tell my wife.
So on your way back from chemo, you didn't have no vomiting or anything like that?
No, because of the meds.
Right.
But that only held for the first 24 hours. Then, when I woke up the next day, then I took the prescription. There was the AM ones, the PM ones.
Right.
Yeah. But no matter what, though, it still hits you like a train wreck, right? You lose your appetite. You don't want to eat. In my case, just the thought of food, I was like, ugh, no, I don't want it.
Yeah.
But I had to force myself to eat, right?
Yeah.
Let's get to that in a second about the weight losing and all that stuff, and how that impacts the whole thing. I got very nauseous, just super tired. And what happened to me specifically, I got bloated. I blew up like a pufferfish.
Really?
Yeah, my face looked like I had
Oh,
my whole body.
like allergic reactions
Yeah,
of some kind?
probably. I couldn't even fit my wedding ring. Just retaining body, especially here, it felt like I had a big tank. But it was not because of gas, just overall just accumulation of liquid.
Wow.
Yeah, it felt really weird. But that lasted almost a whole week. I completely lost taste. Everything tasted metallic-y, and it was just that disgusting taste of like anything I ate tasted like metal because of the cisplatin. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And they said drink as much liquids as you possibly can because you gotta flush it out, right? So that was the first round of chemo. After that, then they do every Tuesday. They always do blood work just to monitor how everything is going internally. My white blood cells just shot up.
Right.
My white blood count just shot up.
Yeah.
My red blood cells went straight down.
Right away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. And that also affected your energy levels as well as, your cardiovascular system. So of course, anything made me feel more tired because your body was fighting, right, to get more oxygen. And then everything else, generally speaking, was about within reasonable thresholds. The doctor said that no matter what, though, you were still within acceptable thresholds of how you are, right? But obviously, if you look at the lab results, it was just all over the place. But I mean, of course, they're the experts, so I figured, hey, if you say I'm okay, all right, let's keep going.
Well, they have a green bar with a yellow on either side and all that, and
exactly. So after that, then came the second one, right? 3 weeks later. That one, because I knew now what to expect, it was just a little bit more bearable because now I knew how to plan my life around.
You had to be dreading that second chemo event.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because at this point, since the radiation was going on, the proton radiations, it still hadn't hit me, like the compounding effect.
Right.
I was feeling tired.
Right.
But it wasn't like, oh man. And then we'll get to in the later weeks, and then what happened with my skin and all that stuff. So we went through the second one, and again, just as expected, hit me like a ton of bricks. That one was actually worse because it was the compounding effect of the radiation plus the previous cisplatin, right?
Right.
So that one I thought I just couldn't drive. I told my wife, babe, you please drive. I can't. I felt, this is funny. I felt like, pretend you had an incredible party and you just drank so much, right? The next day, that hangover where you're just like completely, you just want to do nothing, zero energy. You just want to stay laying down there and just wait for time to pass.
Yeah.
Minus the headache. That's exactly how I felt. It felt like I just had the worst hangover and I just didn't want to do anything, just want to stay laying where it's in the couch or in the bed, just do nothing for the whole day. Yeah, and sleep a lot, of course, because you're gonna need it.
You still didn't throw up that day, okay?
No. No, only because I kept taking the take-home prescription medication.
Sure,
yeah.
I was a little more resistant to taking some of that stuff, so I did vomit the first couple of times.
Okay.
But
but you also had a bit of a different modality, right? Because yours is more frequent, right? Versus mine.
Yeah, and I'll get into that. I want to let you tell your story, and I'll come back. I'll swing back around.
Okay, sure, yeah. Okay, so that's that, and then the radiation, right? But the biggest thing that I think helped me the most is I forced myself to eat throughout the entire time. Because even sitting at idle, I was starting to lose weight, and even though I hadn't stopped eating, it's because your body's working overtime, trying to repair itself,
right,
and trying to fight the cisplatin plus the radiation. So not only did I have to force myself to keep eating, I had to figure out a way to somewhat increase the amount of calories. So, because one of the things that they prepare you for is they're ready to have an appointment to put the feeding tube.
Yeah, they told me that same that'll keep you motivated.
Oh yeah, because the moment you got your feeding tube, your recovery is going to be a lot slower.
Yeah.
Because you're not chewing, you're not eating, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
So from here down,
Yeah.
you have to relearn basically how to swallow, how to chew after you finish your recovery. Not to mention, whatever they feed you here, it's not the same as whole food, right? With all the nutrition that it comes, all that stuff.
We don't want to let that happen if we can. Yeah.
Oh no. So I was doing any and everything to be able to eat. At that point.
Now this is week 3, or where are we at now?
Let's fast forward to week 4 and 5.
Because your experience and mine are probably the same in the first couple weeks. Except your chemo was a heavier thing, and we'll talk about that. But that radiation I remember one of the very first time I talked to you, I asked you how your throat felt, and it impacted me very heavily. He said, "My throat is, I feel like my mouth is on fire," is how he described it. And so I knew that was a crystal ball for me, what I probably had ahead of me, and that was the beginning or sometime.
Yeah. And here's the thing that surprised me the most.
Yeah.
Weeks 1 through 4, fine. I could feel a little soreness inside.
1 through 4.
Yeah. Weeks 5, 6 and a half.
Oh boy.
That's when it was complete hell for me, because it's like a switch just flipped.
Well, I just got finished with week 4, so.
Oof. Okay, please be ready for this one. Please be ready for this one.
Yeah.
This side, maybe the camera can show it. You can see here, you can see the outline of my skin right here.
Yeah.
You see that right there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's broken.
Yeah, exactly.
Your skin is broken.
And you can see the distinction between the part that got burnt and the part that is still my original skin. All of this completely broke out and it became raw. Just the first layer was raw.
Yeah.
Compounded with open sores in the side of the tongue and the throat, the side of the throat and the back of the throat. At that point, I gave in and I had to start taking pain medication, because just to eat was an incredible. I was in tears when I had to eat.
Yeah.
I was in tears. So.
And that's that lidocaine drip stuff that you.
Here's the thing, at least for me. Hopefully, it's a better experience for you. But for me, I had to take about 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol, so basically 500, and then wait about 10-15 minutes for the effect. Put lidocaine in the mouth, but for me, the lidocaine only lasted like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. It's not gonna have a lot of.
Yeah. So what I had to do is try to eat as fast as possible. But you know how, for example, the nurses tell you, hey, today from 1 to 10, what pain level are you on?
Yeah.
So on weeks 4 and change, 5, 6, let's say my baseline, my throat was like a 3 or 4, right? So it's still nagging. You're like, shoot, I can't really talk. I mean, I can talk, but I have to force myself.
Yeah.
But when I ate and I swallowed, it went from a 4 to a sharp 7 or 8, and then came back down after I swallowed.
Yeah.
So every single time I had to swallow, it was like a sharp 7, 8 to come back down. And the lidocaine helped, but I just didn't think it was. I just figured, you know what? If this thing is gonna last 5-10 minutes, let's just eat and just go through the pain, because it's not gonna do much, right? They did say on week 6, they did offer me. What is the name of that one?
Oxycontin?
Yes, thank you.
They offered me that too. Yeah. I haven't taken it yet.
Yeah, I wanted as much as possible not to take it, because just the other side effects, like the break in your stomach, the constipation, this, that, and the other thing. I just figured, let me just see if I can get away with the Tylenol, right? So what I ended up doing is, the breakfast was the easiest part. It was just 3 eggs.
Yeah.
Sunny side up, so it's very gentle, right? Very gentle, because you could just almost slurp it and then just
right? Eggs are good.
And then a milkshake.
Yeah.
And that carried me for breakfast.
Yeah.
Lunch was usually some kind of soup. And dinner was the bigger meal, since we came home, family, all that stuff. That's when I just basically had to sit down for like hour and a half, and just try to mull that.
Oh yeah, just to work it through a bit at a time.
Yeah. Breakfast would take me like half an hour. Just 3 eggs and a milkshake, like almost 40 minutes.
Right.
I mean, I couldn't believe it.
Were you counting your calories?
No, I wasn't counting. I was more counting the quality of the calories.
Right.
So what I believe helped me a lot is I did a lot of fats, healthy fats, natural fats.
Yeah.
Like, whole milk, nuts,
Yeah.
eggs, obviously, and protein mostly. And of course, carbs here and there. But what I felt was the biggest bang for the buck is make sure you get your protein in, but definitely get the majority of your calories from fats because, carbohydrates is 4 per gram, whereas fats is 9 calories per gram. So, you kind of figure, well, let me just get with the fats. Greek, whole yogurt, all that stuff. That works, sense. Right?
Yeah.
So breakfast was 20-30 minute ordeal. Lunch was about an hour. Dinner was about hour and a half, depending on what we cooked for that night.
Yeah.
And just dreading it, right? The way I had to feed myself is I had to look at food and be like, Jonathan, you are not you're fine. You are not tasting this food. You're literally doing it for purposes of nourishing your body. Don't worry about the taste because you can't taste it. And even after a week after Cisplan, even though slight taste is coming back, it's not the same. So everything is like so dull, dull, right? So I figured just focus. This is just nourishment for the body. Get on with it. Taste it later. Don't worry about it. So I figured, let me worry about enjoying food after. Right now, just look at it as just pure nourishment. Move on, right? And that's how I had to look at it that way, right? Because like somebody who is a foodie or somebody who's very all about their food, this is going to be a rough journey because the one thing you love the most, you can't have it or you won't be able to taste it.
Yeah.
Or
you won't like it anymore.
Yeah, or exactly, worst case scenario, you will never be able to look at it again. What you once loved,
right.
Because it gives you those flashbacks of when you were going through this period, right?
Yeah.
And even my doctor told me, don't eat the foods that you love while going through this journey.
Yeah, he did say that as well. Yeah.
And he's right because now I can understand. I mean, at one point I just didn't want to eat anything because it's like everything just, just felt like
right. I always carry that 5% of some kind of nausea there for like days after chemo.
Yeah. Same thing with me. Each day was just a little bit easier, but not by much.
Yeah.
It's more like you get the chemo. Here's all your side effects. Day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6. I felt like a steep drop off. Then day 7, almost back to baseline. But it's not type. It's not like a nice little gradual tapering. It's more like, doom. You just gotta wait all these days. All right. So let's fast forward to the last part of the journey, the most painful. You flat out have open sores.
You have open sores?
Oh yeah.
Inside your mouth?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And they're gonna stay
open.
open.
You look inside, do you see things in there? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You take a picture with your phone?
I should have, darn it. I did take a picture of my neck when it was raw and then when I had the crust.
Yeah. I'll try to zoom in
I should have taken a picture of my mouth. But when I was looking at the mirror, the side right here, the side on the bottom of the tongue is just red, just bright red. The back of the throat just bright red and swollen. Even my gums over here were swollen, so I couldn't chew anything over here because every time I chewed, my gums hurt as well. So this whole time I've been chewing on my left side only.
Yeah.
And even then, after you're done eating, you can't flush your mouth. You can't just like grab with your tongue, like the food and all that stuff that you can. So you have like chunks of food for a while.
I'm experiencing that right now.
Yeah.
The little pieces of food here and there that I can't.
They stay there.
Hours later, I'm still.
Yeah. And even if you switch, it's not the same. Because you're used to your tongue just sweeping, right? Easy. But when your tongue is on fire and your throat is on fire, you can't. Because all of this is on fire. Any movement, like trying to open your jaw, it hurts because that area is extremely, extremely sensitive to pain. So even more difficult to try to clear your mouth with your tongue because it's all a unit.
He gave me a great piece of advice on that same conversation. I was interested in what does my future look like, and he said it burned my tongue. The radiation burned my tongue. And so I learned to keep my tongue over onto the other side of my mouth.
Yes.
This was day one. when I met him, and I was
Yeah.
just starting my therapy. I think it was my first day or something, or very close, very early on.
Very close, yeah.
And so from that point forward, when I'm laying down on that bench, I'm forcing that tongue as far over to the other
left
side
as
as
you
my.
possibly can.
So
yeah.
maybe I'll experience less of that as a
Hopefully,
result.
yeah.
So thank you.
Hopefully, yeah, for sure. Because I discovered that. I
Yeah.
discovered that, and it helped. I mean, it's still gonna get you no matter what, but it's a little bit less.
Yeah, I can feel it getting me a little bit at the base of the
Yeah.
tongue on that right side,
Yeah.
but at least, you think that you're protected in some way, but that base is wide open. Yeah, it's good to get.
I mean, the radiation is just gonna get you no matter what.
Yeah.
And then later we'll talk about the hair loss and all that stuff, because as you can see, I have half a goatee, and then I don't. And the other side.
I just started noticing that this morning.
Yeah.
When
Oh,
I
yeah.
shaved, I said, oh, there's less hair on the right side than the left. Yeah.
So then the biggest chunk. Let's fast forward to week 6 and week 6.5, right?
Okay.
Energy levels are down, really down, really down. So I had to, even if I got 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep, I still needed a mid-afternoon nap because I was just pushing through. I had to force myself to push through the day. I could still carry on, daily activities,
Yeah.
but you really felt it.
Are you
really
working?
felt
You're
it.
working normally during this time?
No,
Oh,
no, I won't go back to work until this Tuesday coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you self-employed or do you work for a company?
No, I work for a company. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I work for a nonprofit in California. I work from home. Yeah.
Beautiful. Great,
Yeah.
great luxury.
Oh, I am very grateful to them. They
Yeah.
they told me, hey, focus on health. We need you, so focus on health because because we want you to stick around for a while. So
Right.
go take all the time you need. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Okay, so that constant feeling of like you just feel like a truck just hit you every day, right? Every minute. Then the eating just became such an incredibly difficult chore. At that point, I'm taking a couple of the Ensure high calorie little
Yeah.
shakes.
Yeah.
These ones that we were able to find, they're probably their strongest ones. They have about 532 calories a pop.
Yeah.
So whatever I'm able to tolerate, like the eggs and a little bit of shake, I just have another shake,
Yeah.
and it still hurt to swallow, no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if it was
even
just
liquid,
liquids.
even water would.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even use a straw because the sheer
I
fact
think it's worse.
yeah. So no straw whatsoever.
Yeah.
No straw whatsoever. All right, let's talk about the skin, the neck. About week 6, maybe mid-week 6, this thing just got raw and very painful, and very gooey and drippy at first. I immediately went to the first Monday after my skin broke out. I went to the center and I told them, hey, can you please check, make sure it's not an infection? They said, no, you're okay. It just hurts a lot, but you're okay, because they said it's just only the top layer of the skin, the top of the layer of the epidermis.
Right.
But it sure as heck feels and it looks like you have an all-out infection because it's just raw, and it just keeps dripping.
Yeah.
It just drips. So of course they give you things to take care of it.
Now this is week 6. Let's talk about that cream for just a second.
Sure.
I know they give you the cream.
Memesone.
They got one that's a prescription and one that's not.
Steroid.
Were you using the cream early
Yes.
on?
Yes. Yeah.
'Cause
Ever
I
since.
forget, I was about half the time. I think I've used it. Not
Since
all the
week
time.
one,
Yeah.
since week one, I applied it twice a day. Once in the morning and once at
Okay.
night. Yeah. Once the skin breaks out,
Yeah.
the doctor said it's probably not a good idea.
Uh-huh.
So at that point, you can stop it, and then they'll give you a different cream to put on. My experience personally, I probably did it wrong, but this is what suited me. I did not want to have that other cream while my skin was raw because I hated the fact that it was constantly dripping.
Yeah.
So what I chose to do is I kept it as clean as possible. Every time I showered, it burned like hell. It just burned because the moment the water hits you, it just stings.
Right. Oh.
But I went through that every morning. I just took a shower and I just went through the pain, and then I let it dry. And I just left it wide open because what I wanted to do is I wanted that crust to form as soon as possible.
Right.
because if you keep that other, it's like a petroleum-based cream.
Yeah.
I just don't like that feeling of that gooiness and then it just that drippiness. So I just chose to just let it dry.
Yeah.
And once it dries, you're not gonna be able to move your neck. You're gonna be like this, because just moving it a little bit, it just hurts. It hurts. So you notice that there's a little bit of pink here and there.
Oh,
that looks
yeah,
like arteries or whatever.
Yeah.
Those were the last pieces of the scabs that finally came off. Yeah. Now I can put a cream. Now I can put just moisturizer that we make at home and stuff like that.
Right.
We make our own, so we just use jojoba oil and calendula. We just basically take dried calendula flour.
Right.
We infuse it with jojoba oil, just let it rest for 4 to 5 weeks, and then just drain it, and then just there's the cream.
Yeah.
What it does is jojoba is the closest plant-based oil that mimics the skin.
Oh.
So when you apply it, your skin really welcomes it. And that's how I've been able to expedite the healing, because I met earlier this week with the nutritionist, and she basically said you're ahead of schedule with recovery. Based on how you are, your weight, the way you look, your energy levels, your skin. She said you're actually ahead of schedule as compared to the general population. So what's coming is the skin. It's going to hit you very sudden as well. Like right now, your skin looks great.
Yeah.
I can see it's starting to get a little bit red.
Yeah.
It's going to stay like that for a while. Hopefully it doesn't happen to you like it happened to me, but all of a sudden it'll just get raw. You'll just lose that whole area, and then it's just going to hurt. About 2-3 weeks, then it'll start, getting like this.
Yeah.
You're back,
Yeah.
and then you'll be able to finally get full range of motion.
Yeah.
But for those 2 weeks, I was like this because it just hurt. Or if you do like a sudden movement, you're like, ooh, it just stings so much. Okay, now, so finally, I am going on week 3 since the 33rd session of proton radiation.
Right. 3 weeks out of the whole treatment plan.
My mouth still hurts.
Your mouth still hurts.
Yeah, but to a much lesser degree.
When you swallow?
I'm fine.
Okay.
It's the chewing. Ironically, I thought that my throat was going to be the last one to heal. It's my tongue, actually. My throat is almost fine. It's my tongue that is extremely sensitive. I still can't eat spicy foods. I still can't eat lemon. I still can't eat bananas, believe it or not. For whatever reason, they have a little bit of acidic and it burns. But 1 week after your last dose of radiation, it's going to get worse. They told me, I didn't believe it, and sure enough, a week after our 33rd dose,
I have heard that.
my mouth got worse. The pain got worse. I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, but yeah, it is
on a
what it is,
personal
right?
level, yeah.
It is. So expect that. Expect after you're done with your treatment, don't think that, oh, I'm good. No, it's going to hurt. It's just going to, like that compounding effect, right? Weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, nothing happens. And weeks 5, it's just exponential.
Yeah.
And then after your dosage, your last dosage, it still ramps up a little bit more. Then it finally tapers off. So week 1 after radiation, my mouth was on fire. The worst it had been. It was just, that's it. That was like the climatic point where it's just unbearable, right? To the point where I almost couldn't sleep. Weeks more in week 6 and beyond, but starting in week and change, your mucus is going to get even thicker, and you're going to spend way more time trying to clear your throat, especially at night. It's going to wake you up. It will wake you up because you're not going to be able to breathe correctly because you have all this buildup, right? So you're going to have to clear your throat. In the morning, what I did is when I would take a shower, I would just do gargles, and I would spend like a good 5-10 minutes just trying to clear my throat, just get rid of that.
So the mucositis, people don't know what we're talking about there, but that I've experienced it to a lesser extent thus far. It's like I was at the hotel the first night I got chemo, and I filled about 10% of the cup up with this thick. It's like something, I don't know how best to describe it. The thickest, it's not
almost
boogers or
gelatinous,
whatever.
almost gelatinous.
Yeah,
almost.
And
Yeah.
you heap it out, and it's got a little bit of coloration to it, and and your normal saliva that you wet yourself with is what that is. I guess it coagulates and gets
Super
thicker and
thick,
thicker,
yeah.
and you can't use it to swallow foods and things like that. You just have to use more water or something to.
Yeah.
And
It's very pervasive.
Yeah.
I finally have cleared it, finally, on week 3. But week 1 after post radiation, week 2, you're still going to have it. And your mouth is still going to be on fire. I finally stopped using the Tylenol just this week. Like Monday, I think.
Yeah.
It was my first day where I could risk not using it and still tolerate the food.
Right.
But now I can finally start eating solids. I can almost eat normal. I just take longer now. It's still there. The even after you finish eating, your tongue feels raw afterwards. But every day that you wake up, your tongue is back to normal. It's just that while it finishes completely doing whatever it needs to heal, at the end of the day, after however many meals you have, it still gets raw and it still throbs at the end of the night.
So you don't know at this point, probably another week.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. But I mean, I can talk now. I can
Yeah.
drink. I can do all that stuff. Yeah.
Because I'm going to be planning a vacation myself after this treatment is over. Get away, do something for a week or 10 days, and maybe I want to be in good enough shape when I do so. I'll wait
Maybe
a month later anyway.
Or a month, yeah, thereabouts. Because I think that would be a good point. So you could truly enjoy the vacation.
Yeah,
Because right now, I'm just sitting at home, just waiting for this thing to go away. Basically, I mean, I just keep myself busy, with my son, my wife, and going out and about and stuff like that. But I will tell you one benefit, though. One funny unintended benefit. While you're getting radiation, and not once did I get sick in my throat because the radiation kills everything. So no virus, no bacteria.
All right.
I could go out and be with people. You're not infectious. There is no risk of them getting you sick because the chemo and the radiation are not tackling your immune system.
What about the blood? Because I had heard the red blood cell drop is.
It's real.
But there's some. I thought there was a risk. I thought there was a risk with.
I mean, there's always a risk, no matter what.
With the people and the sicknesses and all that kind of stuff.
No matter what, there's always a risk. I'll give you an example. On week 4 or 3, between 3 or 4, I can't remember. This is when I was starting to get pretty bad, starting to ramp up the pain. Yeah. I went to my son's middle school event. What was it? I think it was like one of those. It was just an event, right? It was not like parent-teacher conference. It was just an event where everybody was there. Right. I mean, middle schools, they're incubators for viruses, germs, all that stuff, right? The next day, I definitely, obviously felt it. Whatever was in there, I got it. But a day after that, after the radiation, gone. Because it just killed whatever it had. Whatever was lingering in my throat, or it just killed it. So unintended benefit. I mean, not to brag about it. It's just an observation.
Now, your wife was, what's your wife's name again?
Claudia.
Claudia?
Yep.
Okay. And so I'm guessing she was probably in a major caretaking role through this whole process?
Yeah, my wife, she is so supportive. There's no way I could have done this journey without her, because just the amount of attention that requires you to just be present and have the energy and have the mentality and have the motivation, right, to continue. So she's currently going to school. So she went to, she was going to school full-time and working full-time. She had to stop school for a little bit to prepare, because we didn't know what was coming. So she took a pause. So that was a sacrifice that she did, because now she's going to graduate a little bit later, right? And she was there with me for the first couple of weeks. She would go with me every single day until we both learned that, if it's just for the proton appointments, it's okay. I can just go by myself. Because proton is basically, since we live about an hour and a half or so, depending on traffic, hour and a half, you sit, you wait for there. Right. It's anywhere between 20 to 40 minutes, depending on how busy they are or how backed up they are, and then you're back. Oh, another detail we got to tell the audience is the proton itself is completely painless. When you sit down in in the chair, you lay down, sorry, and they apply the proton. It's only like a 2-minute ordeal or so, right? Completely painless. It's what happens after. That's when you feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the mask. We need to tell about the mask.
Yeah, no, that's the mask is quite an experience. I've created an earlier video on my particular mask.
Okay, good.
And
good, yeah.
and that shows them how it's made and put it on you and all that kind of
For
stuff.
some people, it might be claustrophobic, especially when they really clamp it down so you
Yeah.
don't move.
Yeah.
I mean, the purpose of the mask is so that way they only focus specifically on the area, and they don't you by moving unintentionally or knowingly or not knowingly, you don't like move and then they radiate somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
So I can understand why. It's just that for some people this might be a pretty tough thing to get used to.
Yeah.
I mean, after session number 5 or 6, I was like, all right, let me just take a nap and then just put it in. But at first it was like, oh man, this is so uncomfortable, right?
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we just about touched on almost everything. Biggest emphasis, at least from my personal experience, is huge focus on good sleep and nutrition. I attribute that, obviously I can't back it up, but my gut tells me this is what was the biggest levers that are at your disposal to ensure a successful journey. In spite of all the pain, in spite of all the darkest days, in spite of all the symptoms, try to get really good sleep, 7-8 hours, and naps here and there, and nutrition 100%.
Are they now? Do you notice any physical difference in the lymph node?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah. I still have the little lump, but it's way. Oh. After week 1, the lump went down. So like after like 5th or 6th or 7th radiation session, my neck went back to normal. It was that fast. I still feel it though, but what I think is happening is the doctor told me most likely what's going to happen is it's still there, but it's probably dead, and your body truly now finally is just waiting to like chip at it. Little by little. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. My wife and I were very surprised. Week 1.5, I think it was. Yeah. It was back to normal.
Yeah, I started to notice actually only in the last day or two. I had I've got a large lymph node that was here, and still I can feel it under there, but it's no longer. It was not what it used to be. Mm-hmm. In my case, I've got it on the tonsil, and you don't seem to be talking about it on the tonsil anymore. Is it?
I think it just completely moved.
Is that right?
That's what they think happened. They attributed to it starting in the tonsil, and then it just moved. Because my tonsils, they don't have anything.
That's wild. But I guess it can be small enough, and they do what they do, and they know better than we do. Yeah. Mine on the tonsil is there, and it's very, very present.
Oh, okay.
It's about the size of between a pea and a garbanzo bean, somewhere in there, and there's no mistaking it. Okay. And
one thing, just because you're done with the entire treatment doesn't mean you're cancer free. You have to wait 3 months for all the inflammation to go down. Then they do a test in 3 months, and that's the final test right there. Because if they do the test as soon as you're done, it's going to be a wasted test, because since everything is inflamed, they're not going to be able to tell what is cancerous, what's not, what is just regular inflammation versus toxic inflammation. So it won't be for about, in my case, since I just finished 3 weeks ago, my true telltale will be in September. End of September is when they'll let me know what's going on.
So it's July, July, August, September. So it's 3 months. Is that what they're saying? 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So whenever you finish your treatment, count 3 months.
And that gives your immune system a chance to take back whatever it can, and you can see the results. And
then, now that it's week 3 for me, my energy levels are about 95-ish.
Oh.
Yeah. Good. Luckily for me, my appetite never went away, except for on the chemo days, obviously, because you have that extreme food aversion. Right. But my appetite never really went away. The other thing is, this might be a little uncomfortable, but for those who are on the chemo journey, depending on what they give you for drugs and stuff like that, it might cause a little bit of constipation. So what I did in my case, I ate a lot of kefir and kimchi up to the point where I couldn't tolerate it anymore.
Right, yeah, because that
To
stuff
keep me
is
regular,
kind of
yeah.
raspy too.
Yeah, so then you can switch to like maybe sauerkraut or something like
Right.
that, or anything that's fermented. Because for me personally, it kept me regular,
Yeah.
so I didn't have to take any other medication
Right.
to help flush the
Yeah,
system
yeah.
and stuff like that.
My diet is very different
Okay.
that I'm going on. I purposely put myself on a ketosis diet,
Oh,
a strict ketosis
Good.
diet,
Good.
so that limits me to 20 grams of
carbs.
carbs a day, and I count everything.
Okay, so you can stay in ketosis. That's good.
Yeah, so I'm counting. I know my body I've got to get 2,200 calories a day in order for me to sustain the weight that I
Sure.
stay at, given the activity level that I have.
Sure.
And with and it's hard to do with no carbs.
It's very difficult.
So
it's very difficult.
Tracy, my sweetheart, she's been very, very supportive. My partner, and sometimes she calls it nagging, but it's wonderful, and I can't even tell you how grateful I am for that as well. Makes, in fact, I got a shake on the table right there that I got her to thank for, and I've got a cancer cooler, with different meds and different foods and drinks and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah,
Good.
it's important. Nutrition's important, and you gotta watch it, because those blood cell counts, those blood cell reports come back, or the blood report comes back, and they'll tell the story
Like 8 markers.
if you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And just today, I did get a report back saying that my my BN's, I think he called it bun count, was too high, which I think he's talking about the urea count. My hydration isn't what it needed to be.
Oh, yes.
So he's going to step up and put more. He's going to make me sit through more fluid bags in the chemo process,
Oof.
which and it's got to be my own fault, because since the throat started hurting, my drinking is harder.
Has slowed down a little
And so it used to be 2 liters a day was no problem. Now, I'm probably 1.5 liters a day, maybe a little short of that, and it needs to be up there. You've got to be up there to protect your kidneys.
That's a rough one,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the hydration thing is a big deal.
Yeah.
For sure. That's why, in my case, every week, it was hydration. And then those hydration days, not the chemo days, but like, so for example, for me, chemo once every Tuesday, every 3 weeks.
Right.
Every Tuesday, on the days that I didn't have the chemo, it was regular, hey, let me see your vein, and then hydration for 3 hours. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, in my case, I did do, being an AI guy and a technology guy and all that kind of stuff, I did a significant amount of research. It would drive most people crazy, and just deciding who. And I'm not going to go through the whole story because it's too long, and I've told this in many of my previous videos. But choosing the treatment, choosing the doctors, choosing the facility. In my case, my ENT did suggest Fred Hutch, but he said he'd be happy to give me a referral. But I actually cold called them. And told them, my situation, and they just kind of took me right in, and just happened to assign me the very same 3 doctors that you were assigned to. But yeah, it's been quite an experience, and I guess I walk away from this meeting with the realization that I've got a good deal more pain to bear.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't wish this journey even on my worst enemy. This thing, for lack of a better expression, it just sucks.
Yeah.
But it's you gotta do what you gotta do.
And we don't even know, and then we see the next three months later, what does that look like, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And hopefully they say everything's fine, but we just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And then here, wait, this side.
Yeah.
Here, there's 0 facial hair. It may come back, but very thin or patchy.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So something will come back. We just don't know if.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I can see it now that you. Yeah.
If it'll be full like it was before, or greatly reduced. The thickness of it. Not the thickness. Sorry, the amount of hair follicles that come back. Yeah.
Right.
There was one more thing.
you lose any hair up here at all or anything?
None
No.
whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean,
No, the chemo was not enough to get to that point.
right.
Yeah, they from day one they told me don't even worry about it. It's not even gonna affect you.
Right.
It'll be the radiation that's gonna like completely just strip everything away here.
Right. Right.
Oh, let's talk about one more thing. In my case specifically, I went to the dentist.
The dentist. Okay.
Yeah. I got molds, and I have to put in the clear molds fluoride, right? I was hoping the dentist would say, hey, after X amount of time, you don't have to do it anymore. No. For me specifically, I have to apply fluoride every night for the rest of my life.
Really?
Yeah, because what he doesn't want to happen is over time, this area that hopefully it's not the case, but you never know.
Yeah.
For now, permanently does not have any saliva production because the salivary gland here is gone.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You are very, very, very prone to having caries because you don't have enough saliva here protecting the tooth or the whole teeth in
Right.
this area.
Right.
And to a lesser degree here. So he said, unfortunately, for the rest of your life, to be safe on the safe side, just add, like 5 little drops on each of the molds, put them for 5 minutes every night, and that's it. Of course, you can skip like a weekend or so if you're going to go on a trip. But in my case, he said, just so that way you never have to worry about losing your teeth prematurely.
Right.
Do that. And even then, there's no guarantee, right? So I have to do this with the hopes that it's just insurance that'll buy me as much time as possible before I eventually have to get permanent implants.
All right.
Yeah.
Well.
So that's another thing.
I didn't know that. I'll probably have that to look forward to. The loss of the salivary gland that produces it. Yeah.
Yeah. So might be worth doing an appointment with the dentist just in case, just to check.
Yeah.
But yeah, they told me that early on. Actually, it was my primary doctor who said that because he himself went through that years ago. So he's the one that was very hyper aware of that. He's like, hey, make sure you go get implants and check with your doctor and all that stuff. But that's also because I have history of having bad gums.
Okay.
So for me, it's hereditary.
Right. Right.
So you may not have to worry about that.
Well, I'll have an eye on it anyway, thanks to you.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case, right?
Yeah.
And I think we touched just about on everything else, right? Oh, no. For the follow-ups, 3 months, they'll do that, but they won't fully declare you completely cancer-free. I can't remember if it was 2 years or 3 years. So I think thereafter, I just can't remember how often it becomes less and less, but at least once a year you have to go anyway just to get a general checkup. Then they'll finally declare you completely cancer-free after, I can't remember if it's 2 or 5 years. I think
5 years is the number that they shoot for, yeah.
Yeah.
And,
so you always got to be on the lookout, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll hope together for both of us.
Yeah. But the silver lining, though, is after you get on this side of the journey, I feel like I'm able to go back to a regular life again.
Yeah.
Right? It was just that period of almost 2 months where you're at your worst and you just have to put some things on pause, right? One thing that kept me motivated as well is my son. He's a very competitive soccer player, even though he's only 13, but he plays very competitively. My what's the word I'm looking for? My motivation to get better as soon as possible is to go back and be there with him in his practices and in the games.
Right.
So even on my worst days when I felt really
yeah.
bad, I still wanted to go because that gave me that motivation. Be like, hey, this is not permanent. I'll be able to look back months from now, years from now, and just laugh at those dark moments, at those tough moments.
Yeah.
Just like everything else in life, right?
If it does what it's supposed to do, you can only walk away with gratefulness.
Yeah. So find whatever motivates you, even on your toughest days, and look forward to that. You may have to put it on pause for a little bit, but you will be able to get back.
Yeah.
Hopefully, depending on whatever your individual situation is, maybe to a little bit lesser extent, depending on what kind of cancer there is, but you'll be able to get back to it. You just find whatever truly motivates you, and then keep that right there in front of you. So that way, in your darkest days, when you're in the bed and you're tired and you don't want to do anything, know that that's there waiting for you. So that way you can, get motivated.
Good message. Good message. Well, all right. I don't know if you got anything else. We'll call that a wrap.
Let's do it.
All
Yeah.
right. Thanks very much for coming in and telling your story.
Yeah,
And
thank you
I'm
very
sure
much.
the other people that have that are watching the channel will appreciate the different perspective.
Of course.
And I certainly appreciate the crystal ball and filling in the gaps. I now know that the next 2 weeks are, as bad as I might think it is in this particular week. I'll stop complaining.
Yeah, just brace yourself, and then this too shall pass. This too shall pass.
Right.
Yeah. Well, hopefully your audience can, in whatever journey they're in, or just whether it's for curiosity, or if they know someone, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe, God forbid, but maybe in the future they themselves end up with getting those tough news. At least you have an idea
Yeah.
of. It's not going to be the exact same journey, but at least you have a rough idea of how you can move forward.
Yeah.
And what to expect and things like that.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jonathan.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody for watching. And we'll see you on the next video.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.